Okay, so here we're going to show you another example of using the pre-match tool. Here we're going to pick the Premiership, and we'll pick the Everton Newcastle game from the last game of the season in May, 13th of May. In terms of grades, Everton sort of grade B, borderline grade C. So here we class them as a grade B / grade C, and again Newcastle, grade C. Really, we class them as a grade C, but they did in terms of league position perform exceptionally well. So they'd be sort of between a B and a C. So for the purpose of this, we'll do the gradings as B and C versus B and C. So now we've got everything selected. We look at the last 10 games, which is a good cover of matches. In fact, if you look at the fixtures, you can see it's basically the games against those given grades takes up sort of a season's worth of data. So you've got a nice cover there. So we'll just check the filters again. You can see we grade B, get B and C, get B and C, and we've got 10 games for each team returned. So we'll hide those filters for now. What we'll do here, we'll just I always tend to keep it on view all. I know we can select goals, markets, corners and card and half, but I always like to just click it on the view all. We'll expand all the markets, then we can scroll down. What I like to look for, I said this in the previous one, we're looking for a 50% chance of that happening, and we're looking for at least 10% value. So I can flick through these very, very quickly, but I'll try and keep it a bit slower so you can see what we're I'm actually looking at. So you're looking for stuff that's blue. If it's blue, it means it's a positive. Again, if it's red, it's negative value. So again, looking for stuff that's 10 and over, or there or thereabouts, and at least or around a 45-50% chance of that happening. So here, you've got a 45% chance here, and 12% value on the home half-time win. So that that's pretty strong. It's not quite 50%, but at the same time, good price, threes. 2 to 1 chance. So that would definitely go into my shortlist for now. So always like to keep notes as we go along. We scroll down further. There's nothing really of any significance here. Over one goal or more, one match goal or more. I mean, yeah, 100% chance happening in all 20 combined. 10 for all of Newcastle's away against grades B and C, and 10 here for Everton's last 10 against grade B and C. However, odds of 1.29, that's not something we'd like to look at or get involved in. But some people, you might have an angle that you like back into these sort of price points. Who knows? But not for us. So moving on, nothing here. You can see no blue. Under over 3.5 goals. So overs here, 40% chance. Not ideal, but again, big prices. It's a lot bigger than evens, which is where we're normally looking, just around the even money charts. 9% value. So yeah, there's a bit of value there. Nice price, but that's one we would possibly add to the sort of in play pointers. So if you do bet in play or you trade in play, whatever, certainly one for the short list there. You can. The price is obviously going to be a damn sight bigger than that once the game starts and we get going. And if you combine that with, watching the match or looking at least at the stats on sites like SoccerNet, etc., where you can see how many shots on target are happening and you can see that it's an open goal. Definitely one for the in play. Going down further, not a lot here. There's a bit of value here on the home draw, but again, big price, 16 to 1 shot. 20% chance happening, not something we get involved in. Draw away, but what that does show you a little bit is home team probably the stronger first half team. Particularly if they've done the home 5 times and the home draw. It certainly points towards strongish first half performance from Everton, you'd think, based on what we're seeing here. Going down further, first half correct score, value there, but only a 35% chance. But again, biggish price, 4.5, 13% value. But that sort of shows you again, bit of strength in Everton first half, most definitely. So keep a mental note of that. and that also sort of backs up our first look at the results. So moving down again a bit further, second half correct scores, not an awful lot there, except for the fact away, the away team here being Newcastle, 3, 4, 5, there's 9 games there where they've either won 1-0, 2-0, 2-1. So that shows Newcastle probably a better second half team than they are a first half team. Scrolling down a bit further, we look at the 60-minute result. Home team here, look, 50% chance happening, implied odds of 2 even money, and the bookmakers offering 2.5, 10% value. So it meets our criteria definitely, and one we would we'll add to the notes again. We'll add it to the short list. 75 minutes, that changes completely. No value whatsoever. 3% rather. So nothing at there. Moving down further, both teams to score. You got the no, 1.67, 6% chance, 2.2. 15% value. Great. Definitely a great value. And again, we would add that to most definitely add that to the short list. So moving down to full-time correct score. 10% value there, but massive price, 18 to 1, 15% chance happening. Again, not one to look at really. Race to 2 goals. There's nothing really of significance here. Second half result, away win. 45%. That's a strong stat. 45% chance. Bookmakers odds 3.75, 18% value. Second half results. My opinion on that, I wouldn't touch that pre-match, but certainly in play, at half time, you can take a view there, and definitely want to make a note. They've got something to play for in terms of getting the game back on their side a little bit. So again, you can look at markets like the Asian handicap markets, Newcastle plus a quarter, Newcastle plus half a goal. They're the sort of things, but definitely one for the old notebook for the in-play stuff. Away team most corners, 45%, 9. Again, not mega strong, but it's still value. Still a bit of value there, but not our 10% that we'd like to look for, or 50% chance of happening. To win both halves, nothing going on there really. Although there's a bit of value, 25% chance, 15% chance, not something we'd look at. To win either half, you've got a bit of value there in the away team to win either half. So again, that sort of shows you, it sort of kind of backs up this second half business that we looked at earlier. 6% chance, 13% of value. So yeah, that would definitely go on the short list for the other 4 or 5 we've found. Total goals, we've not. That's a new market, so there's nothing showing on that at the moment. There's a few markets here that are new markets we set up recently, so there's no odds feeding in. So ignore these ones where they're not expanded. But for the coming season, obviously, they will be all up and running. Total goals range, there's nothing really of significance here. I think here, there's nothing really of 50% chance of anything happening here. First half goals under 1.5 got. Again, we're back to that scenario. 80% chance happening, but bookmakers odds 1.5. Definitely one to swerve for us. Going down further. There's nothing mega here. Second half overs 55%. Little bit of value there. You might see goals in the second half, but again, probably not one for the short list. Don't quite make the criteria there. First goal, 10% value here, 65% chance. Home team to score first, Everton. So that's a little bit short, a little bit skinny, but we'll add that to the list. It's worth adding to the list. That sort of backs up our, what we were talking about earlier. The Everton strong first half, Everton to win the first half, sort of 1-0. That sort of all backs that up. So we'll add it to the list. Last goals, no value at all in, there's no minus 10% value in home team scoring first. That again kind of supports our Newcastle being the better second half team. That supports that a little bit. Goal after 25 minutes, unfortunately none of these markets had the odds going into either, so unfortunately I have to blank that, but to give you some idea, 55% chance of happening, goal after 25 minutes, probably not a lot of value there. Those, the prices aren't far a million miles away there. Goal after 75 minutes, again, it's quite strong actually, 60% for a goal after 75 minutes. There would probably be a wee bit of value there, but obviously we'll overlook that for now. And that's about it. There's nothing else really to mention. So what we'll do, if we go back to our list here, our little short list of bets that we think are value, or are in play things we think are value, you'll see we've got Everton half time. That's a strong bet. No on the both teams to score. You could view that. At the time, Newcastle were, I think, playing for a Champions League spot. On the back of it, if Spurs didn't manage to win their home game against Fulham, they were still up for a Champions League spot at that given moment. So you probably wouldn't look at the no on the both teams to score on the basis that they're going to try and win the games. And if you you just sort of try and analyse the game a little bit more. Obviously, you'll never nail it down exactly all the time, but sort of a quick thought process there is no on the both teams score. You probably wouldn't entertain that. Home team winning at 60 minutes. Yeah, it's a pretty strong bet. So I'd keep that one in there. The second half was it the second half away win, and the away team to win either half. That I would look again, because it's a second half thing. You really need to know what's happened in the first half to ascertain what's going to happen in the second. So those two bets would definitely move into our in play pointers. And finally, obviously, we've got Everton to score first. Again, that's to stay in. I mean, that backs up the Everton winning half time. They're the three strong value bets that I would consider. And then obviously into the in play, we mentioned the over 3.5s going in play. I think it was about 9% value there, but if we let that go in play, we'd probably get a nice little price. We'd probably look at laying the under 3.5 goals market, maybe at 1.3, drip that in at 1.3, 1.2. They're the sort of things we'd look at with that. The Newcastle Asian handicap second half, that's something we'd look at definitely with the those two key stats we mentioned. Second half away team to win either half, it kind of backs that up a wee bit. So we'd certainly look at Newcastle Asian handicap in play at half time. Again, sort of take a judgment on what's happening in the game. And the second half over 1.5 goals, we mentioned there was a little bit of value there. So that's about it. I think we've highlighted there, the power of this tool can sort of highlight some really, really, really key, strong stats there, and with a bit of sort of subjective opinion and your own thoughts on that, you can pay. It'll pay dividends